Back at London St Pancras after Microsoft's AI event in Paris. Pretty impressed at how fast such a big event could be pulled together, I have to say. A lot of wheelie suitcases going on. I always love St Pancras, it's such an amazing place. I was so lucky in Paris to get the chance to speak to so many Microsoft executives. It's a genuine privilege, and don't underestimate that, to get the kind of behind the scenes horse's mouth view on this very important area. I also learned some interesting things about the French market, and by extrapolation about the fact that there are other markets out there, like for example the Mistral LLM, or the Bleu initiative, which is about keeping data in France, the thing between Orange, Microsoft and a consulting firm who temporarily escapes my memory. Right now, if I use my colleague Darrel Kent's terminology, we're more about basic augmentation, I would say, than more advanced augmentation and automation. I could try and speak now, but it's probably pointless because it's getting a bit loud. Microsoft's Copilot and other similar tools are creating certainly a level of new ways of creating content, and that's causing a little bit of concern in some areas in the creative circles. No doubt about that. Yeah, they're pretty powerful tools, really. I mean, what the heck, eh? It might be small comfort for me to say anything, but I think I'd say don't feel defined by how we were using tools before, and don't feel that those tools are going to be completely replaced, and our skills are certainly not going to be completely replaced, and our creative minds are not going to be completely replaced. It's a bit like when the lathe replaced chisels. Sure, that created a lot of fear at the time, but equally it created the ability to create new things in new ways, and we still use chisels, right? There's always going to be a place for the other skills that we've learned. So yeah, fear not too much. The next level of augmentation that we're going to see is rather than that being at the creative task level, or the general task level, how to write an email and so on, it's going to be how we actually manage our flows of activity. So are we working the most efficiently? Are there things that we don't need to do? And are there things that can be taken over by the tools in better ways, just giving us the information we need without having to go and look for it, for example, or making it such that we never needed to go to look for it in the first place. All of these things are going to be super helpful at the activity and at the process level, and I think that's what we'll start to see with Microsoft tools. It was very interesting how they're saying they're looking to co-opetitionate with, if that's a word, which it isn't, but I will use it anyway, with ServiceNow and Salesforce and so on. Just let that security message pass. Yes, ServiceNow, Salesforce, SAP, all the other platform providers and application providers, all of whom are also looking to add similar features in their products. So we're building up this augmentation level across the piece. Meanwhile, there's all these other non-LLMs, so that's the large language models, but what about all the other models? Well, they were being developed anyway to help with healthcare outcomes, to help with engineering solutions, to help with just any large data set that you can plug into a customized model and start to make sense of it. Saw a lot in supply chain, saw a lot in manufacturing and so on. Those things will continue to develop. And yeah, we'll see faster development of those things probably, because there's definitely more investment going in right now into LLMs in particular, but AI in more general terms. I can't help thinking though that this is really just all scratching the surface. We're doing that classic thing of being able to apply new solutions to existing problems. And it's all cool, and it's scary in some places, and it's exciting in others, and there's fears about how hackers might use it, and so on and so forth. But the reality is that when technology change happens, it tends to produce outcomes that were not expected. New ways of working, new ways of interacting, new ways of doing things together, and at a very macro level and then at a very micro level. So we're not even there yet. We're not really at a point where we're starting to pull together the innovation side of things, the creating of new out of this new technological area that we're seeing emerge. As a decision maker then, I wouldn't really be too worried about trying to lock down the change management aspects of everything we're seeing at the moment. I mean, we have said already that this is the experiment phase. It's a time we're going to see lots of big mistakes and many more smaller mistakes of the whoops moments of using AI to reveal things that shouldn't have been revealed, or everything from the recent example of photoshopping pictures and ending up with 5 fingers or whatever. These are fun times, but they're not the most interesting. I would be keeping a little bit of change management powder dry, because the best and the worst and the ugliest is still to come. The bigger effort is going to come later. Can't help wondering what Robert Louis Stevenson would have thought about all of this. That's conjuring all kinds of journey type allegorical comparisons, and let's go with trains and planes and automobiles. But I think most of all, and a bit like the Industrial Revolution, I would be asking the question, why? Why are we doing things the way that we are? Is it because we're linking them to existing tools and techniques that just happen to be there because they've always been there, or as long as we can remember? And what opportunities are there to change the way we work individually, or to change the way we work as an organization, change the way we interact, and go crazy. Sky's the limit. World's your oyster. Play with it. Experiment time. So what can you do differently? What can you disintermediate? What can you render obsolete? So looking back in 3 years' time, what will it look like? What will be the big things that will have changed? And nobody has a lottery on the answers to this right now, so your guess is as good as anybody else's. As we're in this time of experiment, we can all afford to go crazy with the big questions. Knock ourselves out. Let's have a really good think about what are the possibilities, how's it going to impact each other, how's it going to impact the way that we work. Because the multiple whammy effect across tasks, activities, processes, organizations, business models, financial models, all the insights that we're going to get out of the data that we've been collating so carefully and in some cases carelessly over the years is still to be felt. Can't help wondering what Paddington might think.